All right, let's talk about one of the most incredible creatures to ever walk the earth, the Ankylosaurus. This thing wasn't just another dinosaur. Nope. It was a living, breathing fortress, a true masterpiece of defensive evolution. I mean, just think about that for a second. That question really gets to the heart of it. We're not just talking about an animal here. You have to picture a biological fortress, a walking, breathing weapon. And no, that is not an exaggeration. In the absolutely brutal world of the late Cretaceous period, there was one animal that even the so-called king of the dinosaurs, the T-Rex, would have thought twice, maybe 3 times about messing with. And that creature was the Ankylosaurus. So how in the world did it earn that kind of reputation? Well, it all started with a defense that was pretty much unbreakable. Let's dive into the arsenal of this armored titan, because the features that made it so tough are just mind-blowing. Okay, first up, its main weapon. At the very end of its tail, it had this 60-pound sledgehammer. Not made of stone or wood, it was fused together from solid bone. And that incredible mass was just the beginning. Now you take that 60-pound club and imagine it being swung at over 40 miles per hour. Can you even picture the amount of force that would generate? It would have been absolutely, utterly devastating. And make no mistake, there was no getting up from a hit like that. A single, well-placed swing could literally shatter the leg bones of a T-Rex. The fight would be over instantly, the predator crippled for life. This thing was a true one-shot weapon. But that insane tail was just one piece of the puzzle. Its whole body was a fortress. Its back was covered in these bony plates called osteoderms that were fused right into its skin, creating this solid shield. And the armor was everywhere. I mean, it even had armor plating on its eyelids. Who has armored eyelids? Our source material puts it perfectly with this line. It's so true. This wasn't something it put on. This armor was part of its very being. Trying to attack it would have been like trying to bite through solid rock.
So you've got the weapon, you've got the armor, but none of that would work if it wasn't built on the right chassis. And the Ankylosaurus was built like a bulldozer. Its entire body was engineered for one thing and one thing only: stability.
Just look at its dimensions. This thing weighed up to 8 tons. That's heavier than an African elephant, but it only stood about 5.5 feet tall. That incredible density and low profile made it almost impossible to tip over. You can see the total clash in design philosophy here. A T-Rex was built tall, top-heavy, and kind of wobbly on 2 legs for pure offense. The Ankylosaurus was the exact opposite, a wide, low-slung, armored brick designed to never be knocked down. Okay, so with all this talk about impenetrable armor and bone-shattering weapons, you have to be wondering, right? Was there any chink in the armor? Was there any way to actually beat this thing? And yeah, there was one. Its soft underbelly was completely unarmored. But, and this is a huge but, to actually get to it, a predator would have to somehow flip over an 8-ton, ground-hugging fortress, all while dodging that deadly tail. So while it was a weakness on paper, in reality, it was practically impossible to exploit. So we've got this picture of an invincible living tank. But when you start to look beneath the armor, the animal itself gets even stranger, and honestly, way more interesting. Let's dig into some of the Unkillable's most surprising quirks. You might think that a creature so perfectly engineered for survival must have had some serious brain power to go along with all that brawn, right? Well, you'd be wrong. For an animal weighing 8 tons, its brain was shockingly tiny. We're talking the size of a walnut. And here's the key. It didn't need to be smart. In the game of evolution, it put all of its points into defense and power, not intelligence. Its whole strategy was based on brute force, not being clever. And the weirdness just keeps on coming. It was a plant eater, but it had a really poor sense of smell. Its nose was this bizarre, complex labyrinth, maybe to cool the air or make weird sounds. Different species had their own unique armor patterns, kind of like different models of a tank. And get this, some fossils even suggest they might have been swimmers. What a strange creature. So what does all of this add up to? It adds up to one of the greatest success stories in the entire history of life on Earth. This wasn't just some weirdo dinosaur. It was the ultimate survivor. I mean, just think about their longevity. The Ankylosaur family was around for over 100 million years. They were there right up until the very, very end. They were among the last dinosaurs on the planet when that asteroid hit. Their design just worked, and it worked for a really, really long time. So, what's the ultimate lesson we can take from the Ankylosaurus? Well, first, you don't always have to outrun your problems. And second, you don't always have to outthink them either. Its entire existence, its 100-million-year reign, was built on one single, brutally effective idea: just be too tough to die. The ultimate survivor doesn't always win the race. Sometimes, it just outlasts everyone else. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? In a world that so often celebrates being the fastest or the smartest, the Ankylosaurus stands as a testament to a totally different path: resilience, defense, and just sheer stubborn toughness. So what can we learn from nature's ultimate survivor?